She didn't raise her voice when she said it. That's what unsettled me most. Just a quiet, practiced tone, as if she'd rehearsed the line until it no longer tasted like poison. "You will never be her actual father," she whispered, "so quit acting like one." Then she looked at me, direct, unblinking, waiting to see if I'd shatter. But I didn't. I just stood there, holding my stepdaughter's forgotten lunchbox in my hand, its cheap plastic warming in my palm, while a strange numbness crept across my chest. 10 years of marriage, 8 years of bedtime stories, scraped knees, school runs, late-night fevers. And she said it like I was an inconvenience she finally found the courage to throw away. I remember only one thing clearly from that moment: the silence inside my skull. Nothing moved. Not a thought, not a word. Just stillness. Later that night, she laughed on the phone with someone. Someone she didn't know I could hear. Someone she thought I never suspected. The laughter was soft, intimate, too intimate. When she hung up, she didn't notice me watching her reflection in the hallway mirror. She didn't notice the way my jaw locked, or the way my fingers unconsciously tightened around the edges of that same lunchbox, still not returned to its owner. She didn't notice anything. Until the morning after, when she woke to the sound of her daughter giggling in the kitchen and my absence echoing quietly across the house. I heard them before I saw them. Little footsteps, light, bright laughter, the warmth that once anchored me. I stood at the top of the stairs, listening to the two people I built my life around, blissfully unaware that the foundation beneath them had already fractured. It wasn't just her words last night, not just the phone call. It was everything that came before. The sudden distance, the secretive messages, the unexplained late returns from work, the shifting tone in her voice when she said my name, like it tasted different now. I had suspected something for months, but suspicion isn't truth. Not until it sinks its teeth into you and refuses to let go. I walked quietly into the bedroom, my heart steady, my breathing controlled. The stillness from the night before hadn't faded. It had simply settled deeper, solidifying into something sharp. My suitcase unlatched with a soft click, clothes folded, documents collected, keys placed into a neat stack. Every action was deliberate, precise, clean. No theatrics, no confrontation. Just the kind of decision you make when the world stops pretending. Before leaving the room, I glanced once at her side of the bed, the tangled sheets, the faint perfume on the pillow, the phone face down where she'd left it. Her passcode wasn't difficult. People rarely change what they think no one notices. The messages were there, sitting in the open, time-stamped, undeniable. I didn't feel the urge to scroll or search further. One sentence was enough. "Don't worry, she'll choose us. She already knows he's not her real father." Not her real father. I closed the phone gently, as if placing a sleeping child into bed. Then I headed downstairs, and started the part she never expected. The first thing I did after leaving the house was drive to the only place that still felt neutral, my office. Quiet, dim, predictable. I didn't rage, didn't cry, didn't curse her name. Those reactions belong to people who lose control. I wasn't interested in losing anything else. I opened my laptop and pulled up records I never thought I'd use, not for this. Birth documents, guardianship papers, old hospital visits, insurance forms. And there it was again, small, subtle inconsistencies. Dates that didn't match, signatures that shouldn't exist. A last name removed on hospital intake forms, then added back months later. A pattern emerging like bruises beneath the skin. I ordered the DNA test online, not the cheap kind, the kind that comes with matching services, legal reports, timelines, the kind designed to reveal entire lives. It arrived 2 days later. I swabbed my cheek without ceremony. Then I waited. But I didn't sit idle. I watched her quietly from a distance, not physically, but digitally. Bank statements, shared accounts, the way money shifted, the small purchases she didn't think I tracked, the subscriptions tied to a name that wasn't mine. The same name from the messages. My mind didn't race. It calculated. Piece by piece, truth assembling itself with mechanical precision. A truth she probably hoped would stay buried forever, under layers of domestic routine and soft deception. But truth has a particular smell. You recognize it instantly when it finally reaches you. Cold, metallic, final. 7 days later, an email pinged into my inbox. Results ready. I didn't open it immediately. I let my finger hover over the trackpad, breathing in once, deeply, as if preparing to break the surface of icy water. Then I clicked, and everything crystallized. The report didn't scream, it didn't accuse, it simply stated, probability of paternity 0.00%. The world didn't tilt, it aligned. 10 years, 8 years of devotion. Every bedtime story, every scraped knee I kissed, every school event I left work early for, all of it vanished into a single number at the bottom of a cold PDF. The truth wasn't loud, it whispered. I printed the report, folded it once, slipped it into an envelope, and drove home. She was in the living room when I arrived, startled, trying to mask it with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "You're home early," she said. I didn't answer. I simply handed her the envelope. She opened it casually. Then the color drained from her face so quickly it looked like someone had pulled her soul through her skin. I can explain," she stammered. I stayed silent. "Who gave you this? Why would you even test?" Still silent. She pressed a hand to her mouth, tears forming, anger surfacing, panic twisting her features into something unrecognizable. But I felt nothing. No rage, no grief, only clarity. She collapsed onto the couch, clutching the paper like it was burning her fingers. "Please," she whispered, "please, just talk to me." But I had already talked. 10 years of talking, 10 years of giving her chances she pretended not to see. Now it was her turn to sit with the silence. I didn't argue, didn't accuse, didn't raise my voice. I simply walked upstairs, packed the last of my things, and placed a single sheet of paper on the kitchen counter. Not the DNA report, my note. Short, precise, surgical. "You're right, I'm not her real father. And you two are not my real family." Then, without a word, I logged into the real estate portal and listed the house I bought, at a price that would sell before she even processed what was happening. Joint ownership? No. She never legally added her name to the deed. She thought marriage guaranteed her half. She thought wrong. I forwarded the buyer's contract to my lawyer, signed electronically, final. When she came running outside, barefoot, mascara streaking, begging me to stop, to talk, to understand, I watched her from the driveway with the calm detachment of someone observing weather. "This isn't you," she cried. She was wrong. This was exactly me, the me she created piece by piece, silence by lie. She reached for my arm. I stepped back. Her desperation cracked into something uglier. Fear of losing stability, security, control. Not losing me. Never me. "Please, don't leave us." Us. The word that once held warmth now tasted like ash. "I left," I said quietly, "the moment you did." Then I got in the car and drove away, watching her shrink in the rearview mirror. Small, distant, irrelevant. I didn't look back. Not at the house, not at her, not at the life that was never truly mine. Some endings roar. Mine exhaled. In the following days, messages flooded my phone. Apologies, explanations, threats, pleas. I didn't open them. The closing funds hit my account. The keys were handed to the buyers. Her tears became someone else's problem. And for the first time in a decade, the silence inside me wasn't empty. It was clean. People talk about closure like it's a conversation, a hug, a moment of mutual understanding. They're wrong. Closure is the moment you realize someone's absence feels lighter than their presence ever did. And as I walked into my new apartment, smaller, quieter, entirely mine, I felt that weight lift. The final truth settled in like a calm heartbeat. Family isn't who you build a life with. It's who doesn't shatter it when you're not looking. And I had been looking in the wrong direction for far too long. I sat down, exhaled once, and allowed myself a small, bitter smile. She was right, after all. I wasn't her real father. And now, she will never again be anything to me.